Hi everyone, I'm Linda Birch and I'm really tickled to be sharing this new dessert with you today. It's called Berry Cream Cheese Cookie. It's really easy to make, the cookie crust, and I know my guys like that because they love cookies. They really don't like cake or pie. I know it's un-American to say you don't like pie. I love pie, but I'll eat the whole pie if it's in this house. So we're really big on cookies here. And we start out with this cookie base with a 1/4 cup of sugar, granulated sugar, 1/2 cup of brown sugar, and we'll just slightly blend those. And I'm going to need 1/2 cup of shortening. Use a really good, nice white shortening, a good brand name shortening. 1/2 cup, and I really like to line my cup with this little bit of plastic because I don't like to clean shortening out of cups. It's a tip that I learned years ago from a friend. I really don't remember now who told me that one, but put this right down in there until I get a nice even 1/2 cup, and it'll just come right out and go into my sugars, and I don't have to clean this cup up. So I can mix these around with a fork. Don't need to get my blender out yet. And this is a cookie recipe that I got years ago from my mother-in-law, and I've tweaked it just a little bit. And I've also had to cut it in half today for the base in my berry cream cheese cookie. I'm really excited about using the blueberry cream cheese in here too. I'm going to put just about a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. I have been able to travel with my husband and his company once every year for the last 10 years, and when we go out of the country, one of the things I always bring back is the real vanilla. I'm out of it right now, so I think it's time for another trip. I'm going to add 1 egg. It's creaming up very nicely. 1 large egg. Right there, and mix this around till it's nice and creamy, and I'll start to add my dry ingredients right to this bowl. These M&M cookies have become very popular in my family. I always make them at the holidays for Christmas. I use the red and green M&Ms, and I put every M&M on top of every cookie. It just looks better that way. For Easter, I just made the little Easter holiday M&M cookies, and I actually hit a couple so I can show you those in a second. I'm going to go ahead and put in my dry ingredients now right on top. This is really good and creamy. It only takes a minute to mix this up. I need 1 cup, about 1.25 cups of all-purpose flour. And I'm not going to mix this in yet because I like to put my baking soda and salt sprinkled through there. I know in the olden days they used to sift everything, and I think this comes out fine. A 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda is kind of sprinkled around on top of the flour, and then I use salt balance. Nobody in my family notices. I need a 1/2 teaspoon of salt sprinkled around. Okay, and I'm going to mix this, and that's going to be all there is to get the crust to my berry cream cheese cookie. Okay, back to cookies. Oatmeal scotchies, M&M cookies, pumpkin cookies, chocolate chip cookies, any cookie you can name. It's something they love in this house. My oven's heating to 350. The timer just went off. This is going to form such a nice dough. And since I'm using a glass baking dish, I'm going to go ahead and give it just a little spray. It's almost ready, just with a fork. Looks like a nice dough I can work with here. I'm going to go ahead and give this pan just a little spray since it's glass. If I had a non-stick cooking pan, I wouldn't need to spray it at all, because when I make these cookies, they come right off the plate. But since it's glass, it helps to give it a little, in there, it helps to give it just a little bit easier removal since it's the glass dish. Okay, I'm just going to put this entire mixture in the center, and then I have a piece of wax paper here to help me press this into the bottom of this dish. This is what makes one of the things that makes this berry cream cheese cookie so good. Oh, I've got to remember to show you the cookies that I had too. My holiday M&M cookies. If I don't hide them, they'd be gone. Oh, I was saying too, the cookies in this family, like now I've been recruited to make them for my nieces for their graduation parties. Last year I had to make 10 dozen M&M cookies, all black and red, for my niece Jackie's high school graduation party. And then for my niece Morgan, I had to make them with yellow and blue, I believe it was. Now this year I have Lizzie and Abby, and I need to find out what their colors are going to be, because now they're all expecting Aunt Linda's M&M cookies. Okay, this presses out in the bottom fairly nicely. You want to get it kind of even. Make sure you spread it so you don't want the corners to be too thin. They look a little thin, maybe I was doing a little too much talking. And these raise up really nice when I'm making the M&M cookies, but I really don't want that to happen today for the base, so I'm going to use a fork and I'm just going to prick the crust just a little so it won't rise up. It'll be a little crinkly and that would be fine. It's going to have this delicious cream cheese topping on there, so that's not going to show. Okay, I think I about have that as evenly in the pan as you can get it, so it'll cook evenly. Let's see what we think. Ah, not bad. Maybe just a little low on this end. Okay. I'm going to use my fork and prick this crust just a little and let it vent. And this is going to go in the oven a little longer than I would put it in for my cookies, about 15 minutes, and I'm going to check it. I might need a couple more on 350 degrees. There's how the crust looks for the base of my berry cream cheese cookie. And here are my cookies. Those were my holiday Easter cookies. And since these were hidden, that's why I could share these today. Okay, while this is in the oven, baking for about 15 minutes, we'll be mixing up the topping for this dessert. Now I'm going to mix up the cream cheese topping while my crust is cooking. I'm going to use the blueberry Philly cream cheese, the 8 ounce, and I'm going to add a half a cup of blackberry jelly. Now you could easily use blueberry cream cheese with blueberry jelly, but I really have a fondness for blackberry, probably because I used to pick a very large coffee can full of blackberries by myself from the blackberry bushes around my home when I was growing up and take them to my grandma. She would make blackberry cobbler, which is absolutely the best blackberry cobbler I've ever had and probably ever will have. So that's why I'm really partial to the blackberry jelly in this, but it would be really easy to use blueberry if that's what you like. Half a cup, and we are going to go ahead and use blender for this too. I think this is going to work better with a spoon, but since I didn't get one out, I'll go ahead and spatula it in there. It's not going to hurt it any. It just doesn't work quite as well. A little bit more, a good half a cup. This is such a pretty color when it comes out. It's just such a really pretty purple. Okay, that's going in the dish with the blueberry cream cheese, and I'm going to go ahead and use my mixer and just beat this, whip it up for about a minute. So it's just, those two flavors really complement each other. You really can't tell that it's blueberry and blackberry. You just get the real good flavor of the blackberry. That's pretty good right there. I like to see a little bit of the blackberry in there. Just look how pretty that is. You know, I'm going to put this in the fridge while I'm waiting for the crust to finish. That crust is in there about 15 minutes. I do want to let that crust cool too before I put this topping on. So I would say 20 minutes the crust can cool. This can stay in the fridge. I want to make sure we get a good picture of this. It's such a pretty color. It looks like it's got fruit through it. which it does have blackberry jelly. You could use blackberry preserves if you want the seeds. Okay, this is going to go in the fridge, and then when the crust is cool, we'll top it, and I'll show you what that looks like in a second. Now my cookie crust has just come out of the oven, and this stayed in 20 minutes. You can go 15, it's going to be a little gooey, but 20 minutes has set up. It's really nice, evenly browned, nice, solid, and firm. You're still going to want to eat this with a fork because the berry cream cheese is nice and gooey on top. This has been in the fridge, and I'm just going to go ahead and scoop this out of here with my spatula and spread it around the top. I want to thank so many of the women. I've got names up here left and right, and I'm just so afraid to start naming people that I would leave someone out. This is very new for me. I found out about this 1 week before the competition began, and I absolutely would have been out of it already if it weren't for the encouragement that all the women who I've met on this site that goes with this contest have given me. I would already be done. There have been so many filming challenges, and I'm sure many of you have had those too. The cooking part's great, and meeting everyone's been beyond anything I would have imagined. Thank you, Paula, and all of your staff, and to every one of you women that are out there that have encouraged and been an inspiration. I'm really touched, and I feel really thankful that I even got to know you for a little bit. Okay, there's the berry, my blackberry cream cheese topping, and I'm going to go ahead and slice this out, put it on my plate. I'd like to have this on the 4th of July so I could have something, the purple goes kind of for the blue, and I can make a strawberry pretzel salad, the one with the cream cheese in it, and then something with Cool Whip, so I could have a real nice red, white, and blue. Okay, the cookie base, it's real nice and firm on this one. If you want to go 15 minutes, it's going to be kind of gooey, but these are slicing up very nicely. I'm going to put this back in the fridge too after I'm done trying out a piece here. So just want to show you how this looks, and it's my berry cream cheese cookie. And thanks again. It's been a lot of fun.